Well, welcome back, everyone. I can't think of a better way to start the new year than to invite the mayor of Saratoga in so we can talk a little bit about the new year and the plans. And so here she is. Welcome back, Mayor Yepsen.
Thank you for having me.
It's always great to have you here. I'm going to go back to first night. That was quite an explosive affair. We watched the fireworks from an apartment here in Saratoga high up. It was quite the celebration, and what a way to end a really magnificent year, the centennial celebration.
You know, we had our inauguration on January 1st, which is an official event for any of the elected officials getting sworn in. So I didn't want to stay up too late, but I couldn't resist when they asked me to do the countdown for the fireworks.
Yes, right.
And to close out what was an incredible centennial year for our city. And I passed the torch at midnight to SPAC. And who sponsored the fireworks, because they're starting to celebrate their 50th anniversary. Right. So it was it was one of my favorite midnights that I can remember in a long time.
Okay, so you had to turn around the next day and give that address. Tell me about it. How was it?
The inauguration is a wonderful opportunity for every council member to speak a little bit about you know, having remarks from the former term and looking ahead. The State of the City address, which is coming up in the near future, is really the time to address our agenda, our plans for this term, and to set priorities. So we'll be talking much more about that with you.
Yes, the mayor and I were talking before we went on air, and Mike Lent is going to do a 30-minute interview with you right around the time of the State of the City address. You can delve into that in more detail. You know what I want to talk about is you took over as mayor a couple of years ago. You're reelected. This will be your second State of the City address. Now, in putting this one together, you've got to go back to the one you did 2 years ago to be able to frame really what you set out to accomplish and what you did accomplish.
It's an important opportunity. Not only is the State of the City required by the charter, the city charter, but for me, it's an opportunity to really be organized. So in order to address the community and to address the colleagues on the council, you really need to have your ducks in a row regarding why is it that you ran for re-election? What do you want to try to accomplish this term? And looking back, what's gone well and what's not so gone so well.
Yes, right.
So it's a real test for our office and our administration to really set our agenda, set our priorities, and then involve the public through the State of the City address.
Now, when you went back, any overarching themes that you set out, you know, to accomplish?
Yeah.
And did you accomplish them?
Well,
you know, you pick them. Tell me.
Absolutely. We absolutely did accomplish so much in my first term, and I certainly didn't do it alone. You know, I have multiple groups of volunteers that have gotten involved and stepped up to the plate and said, how can I help? And they are helping. I have colleagues on the council who are helping to get great things done. I have a wonderful staff. And when you're first elected as mayor or any position, your first job is to organize. I had a small transition period where I could begin to think about who should be on the staff, who should be in some of the major board appointments. But one of the most official things the mayor does in this city is make appointments to boards and committees. So I take that oath of office very seriously. And what I try to do in any appointment, whether it's the planning board or whether it's an advisory committee on open space issues, is to think about how can I reach out to get as many interested parties or interested individuals as possible. I want to know if you're interested in serving on a board or committee, I want to know about it, and I want your resume, and I want to be able to interview you so that we can find the best match with the skills and the talents of that person who's potentially going to serve the city in a very important decision-making role or an advisory capacity.
Well, you know what? I need to weigh in on this just a bit. I remember interviewing you when you first took office, and one of your objectives was to make the government more transparent and to involve the everyday citizen in the process of government for the city. And I noticed there were great strides.
We did. I felt the mayor's office and City Hall in general was once removed from the average citizen, and I was hearing that a lot during the campaign. So it became very obvious to me, and it's part of who I am. is to figure out a way to engage the public. It excites me when I partner with the constituencies.
Yes, it does.
And we get so much more done. I don't start committees or appoint people just to give them something to do or because I like committees. No, it's a way to accomplish your goals. It's human capital, human resources that we have available to us that are really eager to serve the city. It's just a matter of finding the right place for the right skills and talents and experiences. And we spend a lot of time talking to people about what roles they'd like to play in the city government. As you know, and one of the first things I did was to set the appointments, how we make appointments differently. So it was more transparent, more inclusive. And I'd say those two words have been a hallmark of our first term. And
Well, you know what, Mayor, I hear that a lot. I know a lot was accomplished there. A couple of the specific things just really struck me. I was coming back from the TechSmart campus this morning. I drove around the lake. I took time to go look at the waterfront park, you know,
Right.
what had been done there. Indian Spring, the Geyser Trail, right? Those are really very, very community-based accomplishments that really bring in a lot of constituents to make happen. So look, when
Absolutely.
you look ahead, what do we got? What's on the agenda?
Well, we're going to continue to be open, transparent, and accessible. That's big from my office and very constituent service oriented. We've done so much with veterans. We're going to continue to work a lot with our veteran population. But the overarching themes really continue to be land use issues, balance. Balance between growth and balance between open space and sustainability issues. But again, I don't see them as mutually exclusive.
Right, right.
So the balance I'm always trying to strike, and I think what the voters have asked me to do is to strike that balance in every discussion that we have. So I just came from a Complete Streets meeting. So we're talking about how to incorporate that in the land use board's decisions, for
Right.
instance, so that we're sure that our streets are going to be more safe for bicyclists and pedestrians. So that's a big priority for me. The Greenbelt Trail as an economic driver. I see that 23-mile Greenbelt Trail in and around the city, multi-use trail, as something that will bring people from all over. We're going to continue to be strong in economic development and proactive in economic development and finding the funding for that.
Right.
One of my strengths, and I think in my office, is to ensure that we aren't just looking at a project, but then we're also going out and finding as much available funding as possible. So for instance, Geyser Road Trail.
Yeah, right,
1.6 million from the state we secured, and that construction will start as part of the Greenbelt Trail this year.
Well, you don't need to give a state of the city address now. You just did it.
Well, that's the past. Now we have to look to the
Yes.
future. Which,
So when is the address? Have you set a date yet?
So we are in the process of doing that right now. We will announce that at Tuesday's City Council meeting. And
okay.
so what the charter it suggests is that it's done prior to
Before
the
the
first
first city
meeting
council, right, yeah.
in February. So we're going to come as close to that date as we can. Last year, it took us 3 tries because of a little thing called snow.
Yeah. Well, you know what? There's a give and take on that argument right now. Some businesses are hurting without the snow, and some people are very happy not to see it. Well, we'll have you back again around that time. We'll have you on Beyond Headlines with Mike Lentz. You can go into much more detail with this. Congratulations on your win. Congratulations on your new term. Nice to have you here. We'll be
Thank you.
checking in.
I look forward to that.
Yeah,
Thank
we do
you.
too. Thanks. To see this interview again, you can head to our website, looktvonline.com.